Hi there, friends. Before we dive in, we want to let you know something important. While this podcast does feature a marriage and family therapist, we are not your therapist. This is a space for informational and educational purposes only. We're here to have a deep conversation over coffee. If you find yourself feeling stuck or overwhelmed, we encourage you to reach out to a trusted therapist, counselor, coach in your area who can give you personalized support you deserve. Because let's be real, life is way too hard to go at it alone, and your emotions are way too valuable to ignore. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get to the good stuff. We are coming back, end of summer. It has been a whirlwind of a summer. And I have Wes Wages here. He is coming on the podcast today, my amazing husband. We have not been together really for the last 30 days. And we just want to catch you up. We want to catch you up on what's happened for us over the summer. We're going to do the core emotion wheel so you can see what it looks like to connect with your partner. And dig a little deeper even after doing the core emotion wheel, how you can get to that root of what is happening for each other. Today's episode is very laid back. It's like 9 p.m. where we are. And so we're just here to have a conversation with each other and let you in on what that looks like. So what is driving us to show up in this world now that we're no longer weighed down by intense emotion. And so thank you for being here. Let's dive in. Wesley, thank you so much for coming on the podcast with us. Actually, today somebody emailed in looking for a specific podcast topic. And one of the podcasts we did recently was like exactly what they were looking for. And
airplanes?
So not airplanes.
Okay, just make sure.
But Laurel was like, I'm going to share this podcast with them. I was like, yes.
Thank you, Laurel.
Yes. And so thank you, Laurel, but also thank you, Wes, for coming on the podcast and sharing with our audience, our community, being who you are.
Love and marriage, health and sickness or whatever of that, and podcast whenever Tera says.
Exactly.
So
yes, that could have been in our vows for sure. Yeah. So I thought that tonight we could start with the core emotion wheel, and honestly, just to kind of catch everybody else up on what has been going on in our world, in the Connection Codes world. You and I just got back from 30 days of travel, day before yesterday. Yep. Yesterday morning or the day before yesterday morning, you rolled in with the RV. We went 25 days without seeing each other in person. And then when we did get back reunited, we spent 4 days in a very small RV with our 4 children. Yeah. So we've had one night together. This is our second night maybe together of being reunited. And earlier today, I was like, hey, bud, we're low on podcasts. Can you please record a podcast with me tonight? So thank you for showing up.
You're welcome.
It's 9:10 p.m. and here we are.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, so let's do a core emotion wheel just to kind of connect with each other, also with ourselves, and even just like showing our community what this moment looks like. A lot of people ask, when is the best time to do a core emotion wheel? Is it the morning? Is it nighttime? And I would say that it really does depend on your circumstance. Wes and I often do it at night, but I will say that we are past the season where we're pulling out weeds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like we've worked through a lot of our previous pains and traumas to where now when we're doing the core emotion wheel at night, we are genuinely using it as a tool to connect and to find out what's going on with the other person in a short amount of time.
Yeah, totally.
It's like we're exhausted. We haven't connected. Here's 4 minutes that we can give each other and really deeply connect. And it's...
Which I just want to say, what used to happen was so painful because, like, it would just be trying to pull things out of each other. Do you know what I mean?
At nighttime?
Yeah.
Pre-core emotion wheel?
Yeah, and I would be so tired.
Yeah.
And so exhausted. And we haven't done that in 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like these nights that are just like, hey, we're in an argument and you can stay up late and I am not a night owl. Do you know what I mean? But you're like ready to talk and
Yeah.
you want to get this done with now, and I'm like exhausted and almost falling asleep on you.
Yeah. But we haven't connected, and I'm mad at you, or it's hurt actually, but at that time I thought it was anger because we haven't connected. So I think the best way to connect is just to say anything, and now you're upset, and now I'm upset that you're upset. It was a whole situation. And then we worked through the phase of pulling out the weeds of the traumas, of the deep-rooted pains that we had built over, at that point, 12 years of marriage. And now we just use it to connect.
Yeah.
So truly, Wes, we have not seen each other today.
Yeah.
Have we?
No.
And so I would love to use this tool right now to catch up with you, find out what happened with you today, share with you what happened with me, and show our community what that looks like.
Okay, so just like hey, today we're connecting, and
Yep.
hey, cool.
Yep.
You want to go first?
I can.
Cool.
Okay. I will start with guilt. I actually have lots of guilts today. One guilt is that I haven't worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling really crappy in my body right now after 30 days of travel, and that affects how I show up in my own life, in our marriage. And so the ripples effect of not working out, I have guilt about even. So guilt in that. Yeah. And then I also feel guilt that I haven't spent much time with the kids, and it's just hard for us to all come back together. So guilt there. Fear. My current fear is, the one that's firing is we have a kid that's about to start middle school. And middle school is a whole different ball game. Yeah. And so just fear in what that's going to look like for them, and fear, the effects of that. Have I prepared them enough for that? Lonely in coming back. Today was my first day, like, back in the office, and just all of the tasks that have to be done. We had our team meeting this morning, and I was like, this is my focus this week of what I want to get done.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, but we need you to do this and this and this and this. And it's like, oh yeah, somebody still has to do all of those other tasks. Mm-hmm. And so just lonely in the extra stuff that has to be done. Sad. I have a couple of sads. Sad, our house was perfectly clean 2 days ago when I got home, and now it is a disaster zone from unloading the RV. So lots of sad in just our house. Hurt. I feel hurt. These trips were really hard. I have guilt about that too, because you had 3 kids traveling solo, and I was off by myself without any children for 25 days. So it's supposed to be this dream, smooth, easy situation, and it ended up not being. I disassociated a lot of the time, and I feel hurt that was the experience of it. Anger. I don't know. I'm tired of the anger that I give, because I feel like it's the same one I give every time. A part of my trip, I was in Mexico and then I was in London. And so being in another country, my algorithm looked very different, which was fascinating. And then coming back to the States, it's like, oh, everything is on fire. Everything is just like so intense here. And I just have anger in the world. I have anger that we can't turn on the news without somebody hurting somebody else. I just feel deep, deep, deep anger about that. And joy. I have tons of joy to be home. I have joy that earlier today I said, hey, will you record a podcast with me? Yeah. And you said yes. And then tonight we went to the pool, and you were like, I'm going to go flying. So you got in your car to go fly, which I was like, thumbs up, yes, go fly. And then when I got back home, you were here because you remembered that I asked you to do this. And so just joy that you see me that you prioritize me. Yeah, lots of joy in being partnered with you. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I know that was more than 2 minutes.
Is that okay?
Glenn would say no, but I'm going to say yes for tonight.
But does Glenn go over 2 minutes?
Yes, but for now we can't.
Oh, I mean,
the goal is to keep it under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that as long as you're not like side trailing, you don't interrupt. You never interrupted me. And I don't think that I like went into a full paragraph about anything that I have some leniency
question, like as a husband, if my partner wanted to talk a lot and ended up going a really long time, would I ever interrupt them?
No, not during the will. But then maybe you can process that as a sad or a fear, even like before we do it, like, hey, I have some fear that this is going to take a long time. Can we keep this short?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
But yeah, because you definitely want to spend like 10 minutes talking about something.
Yeah, totally. Cool.
Yeah. Did I just spend 10 minutes talking
You
about
didn't. No, that's just a general, just to make sure. Because, I mean, I know the 2 minutes, and I love that. Because what that does is that says, hey, this is about the amount of time you need to spend on this. And this isn't going to be a 30-minute. This isn't going to be an hour-long thing. It's like, let's just get through this and process it.
Yes. And so, I mean, it is something to be aware of. And so when I'm sharing, like, of course, I may have gone 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes, but I used to would share a book about my guilt. Like, I probably have 20 guilts right now, honestly. I have a lot that I'm feeling. And there have been times that you and I will take a walk and we're like, let's just purge everything. Yeah. And those are really fantastic. But the goal when you're doing it is to sit down and like get it out of your body as quickly as possible.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I'm not going to time myself on this, but I haven't thought about this whatsoever.
That was part of my problem too. Yeah.
So, I have anger that I have to go back to work and do like the normal stuff versus go spend time with my boys and explore.
Yeah. Get that.
So if anyone would like to pay me money for me to go exploring, this is your chance to talk to me. Shame. Shame, and I did have like a job while I was gone as well, and I just didn't show up well. It's like it's the juggling of like, okay, for this hour I can show up well as a dad. This hour I can show up well as a employee. This hour I can show up well as a husband, and like just having the shame of navigating that and juggling it all. I have guilt that I haven't flown because it's like a priority for our family right now for me to continue licenses and getting ratings and stuff like that, and I just haven't flown in a long time. So I got to pick it all back up.
Yeah.
So fear that we'll get back in, coming back from a vacation. I don't want to say the words vacation. Coming back from a great time, but coming back into the rhythm of life, things get very monotonous, and I don't do well in monotony. Yeah. And so I think I have fear of it just kind of coming back and like honestly like setting the podcast equipment back up for you guys and getting things out and putting things back. Just fear of that. I really love living life, and I do, and I thank you for this, but living life not monotonous, and not in the monotony. That was fear. Lonely, just lonely as in being without you for the past month, without another adult. I did tend to like, it's funny, I pushed to Instagram. That was like a community for a while, and since I've been back, I haven't been on there, because like we're back together, but like that was like kind of like an outlet, you know what I mean, to escape being dad and stuff like that.
Right.
So
I get that.
Sad. Gonna sell the RV, which has been our little adventure, and just sadness in that of just like it's brought our family to a lot. I think almost every state many national parks and so many memories. So it's not sad of selling it necessarily. It's the sad of the nostalgic feelings that I have associated with it. Hurt. Maybe hurt that I'm just thinking of the last 30 days, like you and I didn't connect much, and I'd requested some stuff, you know what I mean? And just, I was just hurt by that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For you to serve me in certain ways. And felt hurt by that. Feel joy of you wearing these glasses. And I feel joy because you went to the eye doctor, and the eye doctor said that you need to wear glasses.
I know.
And you've always wanted to wear glasses.
Yeah.
And so I have joy for that,
Yes.
for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. I have joy that I don't have a tumor in my eye,
Same.
which I thought that ChatGPT told me based on my symptoms that I probably had a tumor.
Which you should always turn to ChatGPT for all of your medical needs, right?
Well, you got to work with what you have.
I'm pretty sure it tells you, no matter what, at the end of it, like, don't seek this robot for health advice.
It does, but I went to the eye doctor. I just need glasses. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you. Actually, there were some things that, I probably knew were stirring in you, but for you to actually vocalize it in the way that you did, even just sadness over selling the RV, because I haven't seen it as sad from you. I've seen it more as just like a practicality or
Totally.
a logistical thing. But to hear it as, oh, no, I actually do have some sadness around that, tunes me into you in a way that I wasn't tuned into you at 7 a.m. this morning.
Yeah. No, there's just with that one thing, there's many emotions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel anger that there's a piece that's broken on it that I really just don't want to fix, and it may hurt the value of it. I feel joy of selling it. Do you know what I mean? I feel sad because it's like the memories, you know what I mean, that we'll leave there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
no, I want to dive into that though.
Oh, really?
Yes, because we do talk about that. And so now we just did a core emotion wheel just to connect with each other. But when I am in a coaching session with someone and they mention something that I know there's deeper in that, I'm like, ooh, we need to do an issue specific wheel around that thing because there's more happening inside of you. And so I would actually love for you to mirror what that looks like. Do an issue specific wheel around selling the RV.
Yeah. Anger that there's a few things that need to be fixed that I really don't want to fix, but I know that that's going to hurt the value maybe and maybe not sell it as much. Like shame that it's probably a good idea to sell it and that like we can't just upgrade. Do you know what I mean? Like right now and stuff like that. It's just shame.
We need it for financial reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guilt for I have guilt because it's mostly like the boy trailer, you know what I mean? And I want you guys, our girls, to be there as well, but just guilt that it's not like set up for that. You know what I mean? This isn't the fancy like, you may or may not get a hot shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It may be outside. It depends on what's working.
Yes.
I have fear that that season will end. You know, fear that like the summer adventures with them and the stories and memories that I'm creating in that by selling this is that an end to it. Lonely just because it's just me. I'm the only adult. Do you know what I mean? Usually, and lonely that it's my kind of responsibility to like take care of all the RV stuff. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sad, just sad of the nostalgic feelings of like leaving that behind. Hurt in selling the RV, the hurt of selling the RV. I don't know if I know a hurt right now, so what we're told to do is think of a time.
Yeah, but this is just an issue specific will around a specific topic. So you don't have to have a hurt for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't really know if I've hurt. And then joy. I have joy in selling it. I have joy of kind of not the burden of it and not letting it sitting. I have joy of having someone else purchase it and using it for their own family adventures.
Yeah.
And then joy that next summer, if everything works out, then we'll be in Europe, and this could help that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for showing what that looks like, because I wanted to emphasize that we all experience things throughout the day, and there is emotion behind everything. And there are times where we experience something where we may just say it as the sad, but there's actually so many emotions wrapped up in that one specific topic. And so while the goal when we're doing the core emotion wheel to connect is to just hit every emotion, it can be scattered, it can be about anything. But when you can sense, ooh, there's something deeper there, to actually pause when you have the capacity and to dive deeper into that thing, either together in your partnership, with your coach, with yourself. Anytime you're like, ooh, man, this is a heavy one, to do that. Because it just helps you uncover more and more to process out of your body.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that, and giving that as an example. There are times where I do that consistently. And I'm fortunate because this is my second time of doing the wheel today. I did it in the team meeting. There are times that I will do the wheel 4 times a day.
Yeah.
If I'm on coaching calls or different things, but it's not very often that I will take time for myself to dig deeper into that. And so with this being like the first time that we're coming back to the podcast, I wanted to just catch up with each other, show what that looks like, show what it looks like to do an issue-specific wheel. But then for our community, just to kind of hear what's been happening this summer. A lot has gone on, which I'm sure Phyllis and Glenn and I are going to do a podcast, not for another like 3 or 4 weeks, because they leave town tomorrow to go visit some of our certified coaches in Omaha, Nebraska. But for us this summer, tell them what you have done.
We left, and I have a quest to hit every national park with the boys before they graduate high school. And so this is a thing that I was reading, The Happiness of Pursuit, Chris Gillibo, and he talks about quests and like what are the quests we have in life. And this is one that we kind of set off. And it fills so many things in life for me, for the wanderlust. It like is key. And I love every second about it. And I bring the 3 boys who are 10, 8, and 6 and have a blast. And then, our girl goes to like a summer camp, and you...
Yeah. So this summer for you hit, did you get 30 or 31 national parks?
31. So we're like halfway there.
With the goal of taking our boys to every national park before the oldest graduates high school.
Yeah.
And so you're just under halfway there to reaching that. And would you say that joy is your driver?
Yeah, totally.
Is there any other emotion there that's driving you to do that quest?
I would say fear of getting older and not enjoying life.
Yeah.
So that pushes me to go and do now.
Fear tends to be a driver.
Really?
Yeah. In fact,
Say more.
Sharon McMahon was on the podcast, and she says that fear pushes people to action because oftentimes core level anger will sit in after fear. And that is our power up, move to action mode.
Yeah.
And so for you, I would imagine that even anger kicks in of like, I'm powering up, I'm getting older, I need to take action, I'm losing time with my kids, I need to do this. And that is motivating you to do this quest. Yeah. Because there are times where it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
100%. And you still show up and do that thing. Yeah. Where I actually think, which I'm conjecturing, which is dangerous, I think that you have core level anger on monotony, which you mentioned in your will,
Yeah.
on settling, on staying stagnant. And so it's actually your anger of that drives you to adventure and drives you to push and try new things. You're 40 years old, 41 now,
41, baby.
and completely switching careers as a 41-year-old from owning your own business as an entrepreneur, video production, to piloting. Totally different career path. And I think a lot of that is driven by anger.
Yeah.
Anger of doing the same thing every single day, to switch and do something different.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And so I think that when we tune into those emotions, that is what can help propel us forward to do the thing we actually want to do.
Yeah.
We spent years doing similar things. I mean, our career was fantastic where it lended us the opportunity to try new things, but it wasn't until you started utilizing the wheel and connecting with that fear that you actually started taking action to do the things that you really desire.
Yeah.
You would agree?
Yeah, totally.
And so that's why I wanted to ask, like, what is driving you to do that?
Yep.
So when people get curious about how you spend your day to day, how are you spending this time? You said it, you're only getting older. We only have this one time on earth. What emotion is driving you every day? For some people, it's fear that they're not good enough to try something new. So they are staying at the same place. Or it's joy in seeing the same people every day and doing the same activity. And so for everyone, it's different. But I just think getting curious about what that emotion is will connect you and give you a more purposeful life.
Yeah.
You know?
So you would say, okay, that's obviously my quest, you know, to go out, wanderlust, adventure. But you're saying that what is driving that is anger?
I think so.
Yeah.
For you.
And anger of like, we shouldn't be in the cubicle 9 to 5.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I shouldn't be in the cubicle 9 to 5. I should go and see this world.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And joy. I think you're very driven by joy.
Yeah, totally.
And so I think that the two of those go hand in hand in anger of doing the same thing over and over, needing that joy. And so how do you get that joy? Challenge.
Yeah.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Adventure.
Yeah, that's Donald Miller in Storybrand, you know, talks about the hero's journey and the guide and what is the worldview that they're chasing, or what is the one thing that's wrong with the world, or that the problem is lying, you know? And I would say that like the physicsophily.
Now I'm not going to be able to say no.
You say it. No,
you're
say
not,
it.
Yeah, now I'm messed up. That is not even close to the right word. No, you're not close. Physiologically.
Physiologically. That's it, man.
It's 9:30.
Physiologically.
No, you're saying it wrong.
Philosophically.
You got it.
That's it.
You got it.
So, what's the philosophical question, basically? Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah. You can leave it in there, Kevin.
Yeah, but yeah. So, what's the oh my gosh, it's late.
What's the deep question?
What's the deep question that is underlying? That's like your soul is fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that deep question lies in your core.
Yeah, totally.
And so for you, it is joy, and we need joy. We need pleasure to thrive. That is the message of joy. And so for you, the listeners, the community, if you are waking up and feeling joy in your day, whatever that is, it could be sitting in a cube. I love that.
Yeah.
We need you. Whatever you're doing, like, you matter, what you're producing. But if that is bringing joy, keep going.
Yeah.
You had reached a point where what you were doing was no longer producing joy. You were operating from a place of fear, but you didn't know that it was fear. It wasn't until you could tap in and recognize, oh, I'm living in fear every single day. I'm actually not experiencing joy, that you decided it needed to shift.
Yeah.
And then same for myself. And so we need pleasure to thrive. We need joy. And getting curious about ourselves to see what is our motivator, what is driving us to show up in our life every day. If there's not joy involved in some form, it's time to switch.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that your work life has to be your only center of joy, but you have to have joy to thrive.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, joy is your driver. I also think that anger is your driver. And you now are putting in the hard work. It's not easy. You're not experiencing joy every single day in what you're doing, because that's just not reality. But you are driven by the joy of pursuit in this quest of going out with our boys, and then also piloting. And so, yeah, this summer you were on the road. You had 25 days in that RV. You had more than that, but without me, with 3 boys, you went to Colorado and Utah, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin, plus all the states in between.
Yeah. Well done.
And I was tracking you every step of the way. That path was not easy. You were driving up a mountain in Colorado and your car caught on fire, and you had to put that out with 3 boys and figure out how to navigate that situation, but you did it. And so even along those paths of joy, things are going to be difficult, but you process as you go. And for me, I was in Mexico City and then back here for 2 days for my best friend's birthday, and then London, and then Vail, Colorado, and then Wisconsin. And so I was all over the place. Mexico City, we were with our certified coaches, sharing the connection codes with businesses, with communities, and spreading what we're doing in Mexico City, which I know Dr. Glenn is going to talk more about soon. And then in Vail, Colorado, I was speaking to a group of executives in the automotive industry, which was extremely fun. 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved. If you have any contacts with any business or any business group, like, please bring me out. I love to connect with leaders.
What are you teaching them?
I am teaching them how emotions are affecting their productivity, their focus, culture at work, employee retention, how they can have that balance and show up as a whole human, to operate well, not burn out in their jobs.
Yeah.
And so that was a workshop that I hosted with them. That was tons of fun, but it was a lot, and glad to be home. But yeah, I wanted to just jump on tonight and just kind of update everybody, because we've been out. We've been MIA. Part of my will should be guilt. I have not sent a newsletter over the last couple of weeks, because we have just been on the go. And so I have a lot of joy that we're about to be back in routine. Your pain is my joy. And so we have to balance each other and process. But I think that coming into the end of summer, so many people are out of routine and they're just trying to catch their breath before they start school. And there's all these mixed emotions. The joy of having your kids at home or having that break of pattern and routine, but then also this dysregulation of having that break of pattern and routine. And so I think it's really easy for us to miss each other in this season, especially for families that have kids that are in school, 18 and below, which is a lot of our community. And so to spend that extra time connecting with each other, to actually do the core emotion wheel in this week and next week as you're preparing to get ready to go back to school, and with your kids, because everybody has a lot of emotions. And then to get a little curious, dive a little deeper. If your spouse, if your partner says something that you're like, ooh, I think there's more there, have them do an issue specific wheel around that specific topic or with your kid.
Yeah.
Because that is how we actually really deeply connect in a short
Totally.
amount of time.
Yeah.
And so thank you, bud.
Thank you.
For coming on. Thank you for everyone for listening, catching up with us, and hearing what's been going on here in, I was going to say Franklin, Tennessee, but really all over. And we genuinely love having you on this journey with us. We love connecting with you. When you leave a comment, when you leave a review, when you send an email, it brings us so much joy and pushes us forward. If you have not already left us a 5-star review, please go and do that right now. It is so easy. It takes hardly any time, 30 seconds tops. And that's if you write something out, which thank you. But leave us that 5-star review. And if you have not downloaded that core emotion wheel, if you're listening and this is your first episode, like, what did they just do? This is the core emotion wheel that has completely transformed our life, where we are now operating from a place of experiencing joy. And we're driven by joy because we're not drowning in every other emotion. All of the other emotions are firing. I feel shame every day. I feel guilt every day. But I am not operating from a place of shame and guilt and hurt. I am operating from joy because I now know how to touch it. I now know what it feels like, and I can be driven by that joy. And so there will be a link in the show notes where you can download your own wheel, utilize it for yourself and in your home. And as Dr. Glenn and Phyllis say, we do this because
You need this.
you deserve this.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Thank you, bud.
You bet.